Morning, everybody. Driving into work after training this morning. So I'm going to try to do several of these going forward and try to be consistent, a little more prudent with doing it. So today, what I'd like to talk about is women in strength sports, and I think this covers women in a lot of situations. And now I'm not a feminist, and I'm not one of these guys, like guys suck, because I think we've gone. We always go as a society into extremes, and I'm not. That's a separate conversation. I'll just be quite frank, though. I'm really sick of some of the bullshit that I see on the news all the time. It's very tiresome, and there's just got to be other shit that we can focus on. But again, that's another conversation. But one of the things I've noticed, I've experienced this with Melissa, and I saw a post Thursday or Friday, I guess it was, from Wendy Sharp. I don't know an extreme amount about Wendy other than when I met her, she was competing at Masters Strongman Nationals against Melissa last year and won. Very athletic, very strong. She's like Melissa, she's tall. I don't know what her actual height is, but she and Melissa are really close in height, but she's bulkier. But when I say bulkier, I don't mean she's fat. She ain't fat at all. I've seen a couple of posts in my live feed come up at about 200 pounds. She's wearing a bikini, which that's pretty impressive, and that comes back to the stigma for women. Even 10 years ago, well, even today, said, hey, this girl weighs 200 pounds, she's cute, and wears a bikini on the beach. You're like, you must be into the big girls. See, and that's immediately everybody, there's people going, oh, I can't believe he said, well, bullshit, you can't believe I said it. We have such a stigma about how everybody looks, and it's, whether we like it or not, it's tougher on the women than it is the dudes. I remember there's some twins that one of the twins that I used to train that used to cut my hair. She said she didn't want me to cover up my gray because it was distinguishing. And I'm like, yeah, distinguishing from all the hot young guys. But aside from the little joke there, we tend to go, a little bit of gray in the dude, and he's still handsome. And then we get really weirded out about women with gray hair, and which I don't get, and I don't want to get really philosophical and all that kind of shit, but it's one of those things where my comparison is when you live long enough, and I know some people gray quicker than others, I get all that, but by and large, you reach a certain age. I promise you, at 30, I did not have all this gray. So it's a sign, but it's also, to me, it's kind of a badge of honor. I know a lot of people that haven't lived as long as I have. They weren't afforded that luxury. And I think the same goes with women, especially once they have children. And Wendy's a mom of 3, and that's what I know of. I mean, I would have to stalk her Facebook page a little harder to see if I could glean any more information. But the way it looks is that she's a mom of 3, and she does strongman, or Strongwoman, or whatever is the political correct thing to say. She definitely, she won Strongman Nationals last year, Masters Nationals. And I know she placed well at Worlds. I don't know what place, but I know she's done really well, and I see her training videos in my feed on Facebook. And one of the things that she posted, and it hurt my soul, is because Wendy's a pretty lady. There's no question about it. Very pretty lady. And she's definitely into looking a certain way, and and again, a woman that's confident enough to wear a bikini at 200 pounds, you wouldn't think would have any confidence issues, and that's apparently not so. Now, I don't want to speak for Wendy or put words in her mouth, but I want to use her and I want to use Melissa, kind of as an example about what I'm talking about here, and see if anything we can talk about with this will give some of you other ladies out there, and even guys. I mean, we all have image issues. But anyway, back to Wendy's post last week. It was a still of some video. She's in a pair of the little booty shorts that the girls wear in the gym, and I get it. You're training. It's hot, and you want to be able to move around, and certainly with Strongman, you got to be able to move around and all that stuff. And for her, the short version is, it's kind of a paralyzing thing to wear gym shorts, or to wear booty shorts, or whatever the case may be, because it may show some of her flaws. And the thing that really hurts is someone who is that pretty and so strong and athletic. I mean, it's really so. I enjoy watching her train, because it's not only that she's good, she really wants this, and that's one of the things that I enjoy about our girls, all our lifters. I mean, when you get up at the butt crack of dawn, or even earlier, to come train at our gym in the morning, it clearly shows more than just a regular desire to train, and more than a desire to be more than average. And so when people really want it, you can tell in the way that they train, and that is certainly true for Wendy. For Melissa got up this morning before 4 o'clock and was downstairs, warming up. So, but the thing is here it is, a mom of 3, and I don't know what she's dealing with. I didn't look that hard into it. Stretch marks, get a certain age, and she's a master age lifter, so she's 40 plus. And again, a few flaws, whatever those may be, because I looked at the picture and I thought, wow, she looks really good. She's in really good shape. But that's not what a lot of people see. And the whole self-image thing, that's where it becomes paralyzing. And so, ladies, especially when you have children and there's some stretch marks on the boobs, or stretch marks on the tummy, or in the leg butt area, hopefully most of us guys have our head out of our ass and understand that that's a badge of honor. That's kind of God's tattoo, scars and things of those natures, and that for you dads out there, that's the mother of your children. And let's be honest. I'll be honest. I'm not going to speak for any other male out there but me. If there was a baby being pushed out of my pee hole, it's not going to fucking happen. Not. The human race is going to go extinct. It's not going to happen. Just not going to happen. I promise you. And I would dare say I would easily be in the majority by, I'd be shocked if 98 to 99% of the rest of the men on the planet, and other planets we don't know about, they don't want to have no baby, especially if you got to push it out where you pee from. It's not going to happen. Now, that can open up into another conversation, but my point here is probably the most important job in the world. And again, this is going to sound like I'm being a womanizer or trying to score points, and I'm not. I promise you I'm not. But the most important job in the world is a mom, whether we like it or not. In our society, up until the last generation or two, the dads went out and they worked, and the mom stayed home and kept the house. And the shift has only been that both parents work. Now, I understand there's some stay-at-home dads. I get all that, and that's great that works. That's perfect. But my point here is there's still that responsibility that seems to fall on the mom for the caretaking of the children, by and large. whether we want to admit it or not. And so it hurts me just in the soul when someone who is that pretty, that strong, clearly loves her kids, and is that paralyzed with fear. Melissa had the issue when Melissa and I met, and again, I'm giving you these examples because I want you guys to think about this, and talk about it, and let's find a way to overcome some of these issues. When I met Melissa, she was a light 165, about 155 pounds. Melissa's pushing about between 5'9", 5'10". And she's long. She's very long. Her face is long. Her arms are long. Her neck is long. Everything is long. Legs, torso, everything is long. And so, 155 pounds is in our world today is not very big, but in her mind, it was. And conversation came up early on, and she asked if I were coaching her, what would I have her do? And I immediately said I'd have you gain weight to 180, 185 pounds and cut to 181 and compete, get strong, get some density with the muscle, and then cut back to 165 and chase your goal. And she was not for that. And I'm making a long story extremely short. Now, eventually she gained the weight, especially she got more into strongman. And it just, it takes a little bit of body weight. You've got to have some body mass to do a certain amount of work. And she, as she got more comfortable when she started weighing 165 or 168, 169, and would cut to 165, she got a lot more comfortable. Of course, she's put on a lot more muscle in the time that we've been together. But the body image issue is a real thing. And let me tell you something. Melissa will go upstairs, get ready for work, and today, for example, she wore a dark purple dress, medium length, 3/4 sleeve, and boots, and is killing it. I mean, killing it. And, and that's what I see. And so I really try hard to remind her when she's like, I got a little, my belly feels fluffy today. We ate pizza last night, so the salt has me up a pound, and I'm like, fuck a pound, Anyway, you see my point. And so what I really would love to see you girls do, one, is support one another, because I think a lot of times you girls are really brutal to each other. She thinks she's cute. Well, she probably is. If you're saying that, she probably is. And then us guys, where it's like, especially as you get to be my age, I'm like, I'm looking so far past a stretch mark, the woman's pretty or she's not, and usually you learn that as you learn, get to know the person and everything. What I would hate to see is women not do what they love for fear of how they look, and Jennifer even mentioned it, just about everything in every facet of their life, there's some sort of look thing based on it, So, what's the end game here? I think, ladies, own it. Especially if you're a mom. Own it. If you feel pretty, then you are. And be realistic at what you look at. You are not going to be 40 plus years old and look like a 20-year-old. It's not going to happen. And that's okay. You made it. Fuck, there's so many people that don't. And you have children, look at those kids. Look at that amazing thing. It to me, it's the biggest miracle on the planet is when we see a living thing spawn another one. And the level of love, when two people meet, I love Melissa with all my heart. But I'm going to tell you something. When I held Wes when he was a minute old, the world as you see it forever changes. There's a level in your heart, there's a love gear that you had no idea existed. And once you have children, it forever changes. As a man, having a child and then helping, coach some of these kids from tiny, you'll see a commercial about a baby or something and it'll tug at your heart, It's a game changer. and more so, it's a life changer. And so, ladies, support one another. You know, be competitive. Like Melissa and Wendy went at it. And Wendy was fortunate enough to come out on top, and they high-fived and congratulated each other. They follow each other on social media and ask each other questions and encourage each other, and that's what it's all about. Now, if they meet on the field again of play, go at it. Shake hands and get out there and get after it and try to win. And then once it's done, I'll talk shit to another competitor, but I'll be the guy that buys the first round of beer. So be supportive. And guys, if your wife is working hard, your girlfriend, whatever the case may be, whatever shape she's in, be encouraging. It's a tough world out there, and we get a little caught up in how we look and all those other things, and we really get caught up in what other people think. And I get that. I struggle with it because I want people to like me. I want people to respect me, in whatever the endeavor is, whether it be bourbon collecting at my job or in the gym. So I get it. But I don't have to face the things. I look like I look, and I'll go out there and pick up a shovel to work on irrigation, and I'm the man. If one of your girls did that, be like, yeah, it's just judged differently. So we're not going to change that in a YouTube video, but I hope some of this will spark you to think about, if you're in there and you're busting ass and you see a change in your body, own it. Wear those booty shorts. Wear that tank top. I didn't say go take boy short selfies or anything for Instagram. Of course, that's your decision, and chances are I'm going to look at it. But the bottom line is, you're in there busting your ass. Melissa does it, Wendy does it, all the girls at the gym do it, and they're all sorts of shapes and sizes and flavors, and tall and short, tattoos, no tattoos, long hair, short hair. The thing is the common thread is you guys are in there and you're busting your ass and you're trying to get better, and that earns my respect. The level of athlete is irrelevant. It's, are you doing something to better yourself? And I'll applaud that, and I encourage you guys to own who you are and what you are, and understand that self-love is where it all starts. And if you take the time to do a little bit of that, then you're going to be able to give to others. You have to have that self-investment and own it, and there are people out there that will appreciate that and encourage you and support you. So I'm not sure what you're going to take from all that, but what I want you ladies out there to know is I'm not the only guy, that's going like, hey, rock on with your bad self, and appreciate a pretty woman just because she's pretty, or appreciate a woman who's busting her ass because you know how hard it is to bust your ass, and to see someone put the effort into bettering themselves. That's the thing that's what gets me jacked up, is somebody that sets a goal and you can see them and they're digging every day to get it done. That's the kind of shit I love. So Wendy, keep kicking ass, and I hope you guys will take a look at each other and be supportive. And if somebody is concerned, lift them up. That's what makes this marble spin, is our relationships with each other. And in a day and age where we're always finding shit in the news that our president sucks. For the last 4 or 5 presidents, apparently they all suck. That kind of shit. That kind of veers off of the whole thing, but that I'm trying to say here. But the bottom line is, so much more can be done with a little bit of support. It's okay to be critical, but it's not okay not to love one another. So go out there and be supportive and love each other, and then on the field of play or combat, go out there to fucking win. And then when it's done, the chips fall where they may, everybody shake hands, be friends, and push your ass in the gym to be better. That to me is what it's all about. So take what you will from that. I hope that this is encouraging. And again, I hope with these that it always sparks some discussion. I would love to hear your thoughts on that. And even if you oppose it, you may think otherwise. And you know what? That's okay. I just ask that you be civil in the discussion. It can be heated, it can be impassioned, but it should always be respectful. All right, guys. Till the next time. Peace.